In our European Month of Culture program. Tonight we are proud to showcase the Embassy of Ireland. Please welcome to the stage the Old Bay Céilí Band.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Thanks very much. We decided it would be fitting to start with probably the most popular and influential Irish traditional tune in North America. It was called Joe Cooley's, and it was played by the great Joe Cooley, who emigrated from Galway in Ireland and played a button accordion, and is probably the most influential person who brought Irish traditional music to the masses. Anyway, we're going to play a couple of jigs now. These are The Lark on the Strand and Dan Collins. Thank you. The band, I can tell you a little bit about the band. We actually went over to Ireland a couple years in a row, and that last set we used to compete over there in one of Europe's, I think, largest music festivals called the Flaukiol, yeah. And we have it looks like if you saw our bio online, it looks like a slightly smaller band tonight, but I wouldn't call it the Old Bay Céilí Band Light, though, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But let me introduce the band. In the back row, we have Josh Dukes on the Céilí drums. And we have Matt Mulqueen on piano from Baltimore. Josh lives down here in Virginia, near DC. And Danny Novak here on the fiddle. Danny used to be a DC resident, but he recently moved back to Boston, so he flew down for the occasion. And then I was talking about Joe Cooling being probably the most influential in bringing Irish music to the United States, to the masses, but probably the person most responsible for bringing it and increasing the quality and amount of it around the Baltimore, D.C. area we have filling in tonight for his son is Billy McComiskey on the accordion. So so we're just missing two members, Brendan and Bob Smith, who couldn't make it, but I think we'll be doing okay without them. So, and then our dancer is Joe Duffy, and he dances with the Teelin Irish Dance Company as well. So he'll be back up here. Okay, so the next set of tunes are called The Rover on the Bog and The Echo, and they are a couple of hornpipes. Thank you. How many people out there know the difference between a hornpipe and a reel or a jig? Anybody at all? Okay. Well, any music aficionados, you'll probably just be able to hear the time signature difference. But now we're going to play some polkas, which are known for oftentimes being from County Kerry in Ireland. However, this first one is Breton, and it's called I'll Buy Boots for Maggie. And the second tune is called Jessica's Polka, which was written by the Irish singer Mick Hamley. I might ask Billy to introduce this next set of jigs here. We have, we're going to be playing Eddie Kelly's in Poor Timing.
Are you guys having a nice time? I'll ask you again, and we'll try to wake up. Are you having a good time? There you go. I'd have to say back in 1975, when I came down here, I never thought I'd be playing in such a beautiful place, named after one of our own, the great John Kennedy. So absolutely wonderful, yeah. This first jig was written by a guy named Eddie Kelly, and he's a banjo player. And I learned this. I don't even remember learning the tune. It might have been on a recording or something, but I loved it. And one of the things that I love about Eddie Kelly is that he works in an institution for the insane in Ireland. I thought that was only fitting, because you have to be nuts to play and love this music. So there you go. And I wrote the second tune called Poor Timing, and named it for my son Patrick, who's now married and living up in Frederick. If you know Pat, or if you run into him, you can ask him, why was that tune named after? He was a toddler at the time, so there you go. And this band, the full 10-piece band, we could be very proud of them. It's only really the second band to play in the senior All-Ireland competition back at the Flock Hill. And it was, what do we call it? It was fed or something. Not very good at computers. A live feed from, where was the competition? From Tullamore. Did anybody ever hear of Tullamore? Yes, you did. Clap. There you go. Yes, I did hear it. Okay. Anybody hear of Drogheda? Okay, I'll be over in Drogheda in a couple of weeks, and I can guarantee you, see, it must have something to do with the Guinness and the whiskey. They would never be able to, it would be shouting at them trying to get their attention. So have fun, and if you feel like you're being a little over exuberant, you're not. Not even close. Here you go. Let's have a hand, and Laura Byrne is the flute player. Let's have a hand for her. Okay.
Yeah, so Joe's from the Washington, D.C. area, and we all met going to a lot of Irish traditional music sessions around Washington and Baltimore and in between, and it's funny how the music gets passed back and forth, and we've all made many trips to Ireland, but this next tune is a waltz called the Bluemont Waltz, which actually was, I think, picked up by Sean McComiskey from an Irish musician, and I think he might have learned it in Ireland, but it was written by an American in Virginia, so it's called...
It was actually written by Rodney Miller.
Rodney Miller.
Who is a wonderful... This tune always gets... I love the folk... This is like the folk process in action. It's wonderful. So this tune was written by Rodney Miller, who is a great New England-style fiddle player and violin maker. But he named the tune the Bluemont Waltz after Bluemont, Virginia. So in our band, it's a great tune. It's sort of become a tune by a guy in Virginia. But anyway, Rodney Miller, great fiddler and great waltz writer as well.
And what happened then, Seamus?
Yeah, I think Sean McComiskey, Billy's son, learned this tune from Seamus Begley, who is an Irish accordion player while he was in Ireland, and brought it back here. I don't think Sean even knew that right away and started playing this great new Irish waltz, and then we found out it's from right here.
Yeah, and is this one on now? It's actually how this music works, so you have to cope with it. But you'd have to see, I actually played in Seamus Begley's town, and it's called Ballyferriter. There you go. And if you know where Kerry is all the way down in the bottom, you know, how it goes. It's like the westernmost part of Ireland, and it's way, 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 way out on this peninsula. It's completely isolated. And how the tune never found its way. Well, he actually comes over. He travels an awful lot. He's a great player. So there you go.
The tunes have a mysterious way of traveling around, sort of like this microphone.
All right, well,
Okay, if I need help, you guys will know, right?
you. Okay, there we go. So let's see. We came out with a recording about a year and a half ago too, and that one's on there. It's called "The Crabs in the Skillet." I think Josh has a copy of it back there. Do you want to hold it up? It's got a lovely crab on the cover of the CD, so you can't miss it. You can find it on our website. The next set of tunes are a set of reels called Huey Travers and Jimmy McGuttricks.
From Philippe, I think. Philippe or so.
It was actually, okay. Those were learned from a recording of Paddy O'Brien, the great accordion player, box player, in his band called Cool Rua, which features Paddy O'Brien, Patrick Orso, and Pat Egan at the time.
Did they play the three of them like that?
They were reversed.
Guess what, they're having a good time.
Are you having a good time? Great, so are we. So anyway, these will be some high energy reels for you.
Are these like single or double? Double. Fast.
Nice dancing. The next tune we're going to play is a march called The Lee Grave, which we learned from a dear friend of ours, Mike Rafferty, a flute player who emigrated from East Galway, who I learned a lot of tunes from and was a good friend of Billy's here. He passed away a couple of years ago, I think at the age of 82 and he had a great recording out called Speed 78, which we thought was a great recording for him because he made it when he was 78 years old. So anyway, this is a march we played at the competition in Ireland, and it's called The Lee Grave. No dancing that time. All right. I'm going to play a few jigs this time. And the first one of these was composed by our own Matt Mulqueen here, our piano player. It's called The Homecoming, and we will follow it with a couple of others. Let's see. It's hard to keep all of the names straight. Humors of Castlecomer and Quinns. And yeah, thanks for coming out on this rainy day. Thank you very much. It's over in Ireland, they'd call it a fine day, which I never quite understood, but I guess it's better than it could be. If it's raining really softly, I think they'll call it a fine day. So. Thanks very much. Anyone know how we're doing on time? One more. All right. Yeah, we could keep playing all night, but anyway, thanks. We'd like to thank the Irish Embassy for inviting us out to play tonight. And we will finish this off with a set of reels. This is called The Bell Harbor and the Lasses of St. Barry's. And the Lasses of St. Barry's was found in one of these collection of Irish tunes by our fiddler, who's not here tonight, Jim Egan from Baltimore. So Bell Harbor and the Lasses of St. Barry's.
Second one's double. Second one's single. We should do 3-3. We should do 3-3. The second one's short. All right.